Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial on this channel, well a new series anyway. So if you're coming to this video you may have just come across it just in the general YouTube search, or you may have come to it because I linked it in old series that I have on my channel, which they still kind of work, but I would rather people come to this tutorial now just because it's sort of more up to date and better in a way, because today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple gun script using raycasts with detection of what type of object you can hit, so then you can add particle effects to then, like, if you shoot dirt, you have dirt particles. If you shoot a wooden wall or a tree, you'll have wood particle effects. Now, I'm not going to do the particle effect things today. I'm just going to set up the script and show you how to sort of put it all there, and we can do a small demonstration of how it works, and then I will do another tutorial at some point soon where I will add in like animations and particle effects and sounds and everything like that. But hopefully this will get you started, but knowing how most people watch tutorials, you will just click the next one if I've already put it out. So, and that's in the future thingy, that's weird, whatever. So let's start out by quickly going to the asset store on here and downloading a gun prefab, just because it's good to have one of those just to make the game look decent. So hopefully if you go to the 3D model section, there should be a gun within the first few pages you can just use. Now just remember, the licensing for various things in the asset store vary whether you can use them commercially or not. There's a gun there, but I don't quite like that one. There's a rifle, there we go, that'll do. The licensing on how you can use these can vary from like non-commercial use, commercial use, or personal use, or whatever. So make sure if you do plan on making money with the game that you make, then just make sure you read up all the information, or just model your own stuff if you can. I will try and do modeling tutorials, but I'm not fantastic at it, but I can give it a go if people want me to. So here we go. Now, hoping if you've come to this tutorial you have at least a little bit of experience on how to navigate the Unity editor. I will quickly tell you a few controls which I will use for this. So pressing W will bring up the arrow, the transform controls for the positions. E will bring up rotation, and R will bring up the scale, and T will bring up, well, that's mainly for 2D things, and that brings up the, I don't even know what it's called. It brings up a scaling thing for 2D planes or whatever, which can sometimes be useful, but for 2D stuff. Anyway, let's create a quick scene. So if we create a plane here, size it up to about 3 by 3 on the X and Z, press W to bring up this again. We can get rid of this camera here, because if you've imported the character prefab, the standard asset characters thing, and you should get a first person controller. There are two, but I like to use the FPS controller. You can use a rigid body one. I don't think there's much difference, apart from it's always good to change the mouse look sensitivity to 4, just so you get a bit of better mouse movement. And then hopefully if you've done that, then you'll have a simple game where you can look around, and it's a huge white floor that is very hard to see. I don't know if we have any textures. We do have textures. Let's see what we've got. Is there any materials? Just to set it to something that's not sort of, you know, extremely bright. Apparently there's pink grid, and that was meant for something. Well, it's very bright still. Let's tone that down a little bit by using the color thing. That's good enough. And I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts. So if things randomly save or something, it's because I press Control S or something like that. But I will try and tell you when I've done it, like I am now. So I've done Control S to save your scene, just so it's in the project folder. You can make a scenes folder, which is probably the best thing to do. So we'll just call it, if I can spell, scenes. Yeah, is that right? Close enough. And we'll just put this as test scene for whatever. You can name whatever you like. It's up to you. It's your project. And I'm just helping you with the scripting stuff here, I guess. So now that we've got that, we can go here. You can right click and create another folder called scripts, and then we can create a JavaScript. That's C#. That's JavaScript. Now, I like programming in both C# and Java, and there's probably going to be like Unity experts and stuff that are going to go, hey, why aren't you using C# so this is probably more efficient and stuff. my preference is Java for stuff, and C# for other things like AI. I like to use C# compared to Java because it seems to work better, and I like the programming way. You can kind of mix and match, but I will do a tutorial on how to sort of access JavaScript variables from a C# and C# variables from a JavaScript and vice versa, whatever. Anyway, let's name this script as GunScript. There we go. So we can start working on this, but also, just before I forgot that we downloaded the gun. So, now we've got the rifle, there should be a prefab, which we can drag into here. Now if you look at your game view, you can see it's just there. So if we drag that and just have a look at it, we can just drag all this down if you go to the console section. Just so we can position it on the camera, so it looks decent. I mean, I played quite a few FPSs, but I still don't know exactly where the gun should go. So we'll just put it in a random place here. We can scale it down a bit more, give it a little bit of rotation, and probably put it, I don't know, here. So if we maximize that, we can just have a quick look in game. Oh, just before though, drag the rifle into this first person character thing here, because this is actually the camera, but it's just labeled as the character for some reason. You can rename that if you want to as camera, just to remind you, but this one I make it move with the camera. As you can see, it's got, yeah, it sort of works. The lighting's not fantastic on it, but it's just a gun model that we just grabbed for now. Can we make it brighter? Oh, we can make it a bit brighter, although there's not a lot. I've just realised I left Steam up, but whatever. That might make it a little bit better. We can probably get rid of the rotation on it actually as well. Just set that to 180, drag it over a little bit more, because it still looks like it's sort of gone in anyway. That works quite well. That'll do. You can sort of see it there. Well, I'm not going to really sort of bother with the positionings of the gun for the moment, because it's not heavily important for this tutorial. I just want to show you how to make things shoot and detect what is the ground and stuff. So actually we'll just create a new tag called ground. Over, ground. Oh, okay. Ground. Okay. Oh, okay. That's really nice. Sometimes if you keep pressing back too many times, it will just exit that tab. So if you click on the floor and tag it as ground, then we have the floor set up, the player set up, and now time for the script. So if you go to here, click on your scripts and go to your gun script, then hopefully monodevelop will load, and then we have the gun script thing here. So what we're going to want to do is, I have a reference script open just so I know where I'm going with this, so I can try and do this tutorial in one shot without having to re-record it 100 times or whatever. And some people are probably going to go, why don't you just copy and paste? It's probably because I want to explain certain things. So yes. So we'll make a few variables first, because we're going to want ammo. So we'll have a variable ammo as an integer. So this will be the main. I don't know the correct names for gun. I think it's like clip and round or whatever, but I always get them mixed up. So I think I use ammo as the actual sort of current ammo you've got before reloading and stuff. The number that's on the left, and then you have the line, and then the right. It's the number on the left, whatever. And then rounds. Don't capitalize that. Oh yeah, make sure you are following this the exact same way, because case sensitivity is a huge thing on anything that's highlighted mainly, and also these functions here. If you don't, it can be very case sensitive, so like you put the start function in without capital S, it won't work. Programming is very annoying like that, but hopefully if you have a little bit of experience, then you will know what's sort of happening and stuff. So we'll have a reloading, if I can spell, reloading boolean. So that's a true or false statement if you didn't know that. Boolean. Oh, I don't know whether to. I normally just keep line endings on this, because why not? Right, that should be good. So we can have these now. So we've got your basic ammo setup, and then we've got if it's reloading or not. So we can also add an audio source as well, but we will do that another time. So to start this off, we're going to detect if the gun has been activated, or the button, the mouse has been clicked. Sorry, I'm sort of all over the place. Input.get key down key code dot mouse 0, or yeah, whatever. You can use like get mouse button down, but sometimes I don't know. I use either, and for my reference script, I've done it with key code, which probably isn't the most efficient way, but whatever. So we can just test this actually by making a debug.log, and we can just put fired, so it will now detect if we've clicked, and it will tell us if we drag it onto the player. So actually you can, if you press the little arrows, you can just close all these things because they're not important for the moment. So you can drag the gun script into there. Don't worry about changing those numbers for now. And if we do this, you can see down there it says fired. And if I've pressed that a couple times, I can go here, and you'll see that I've pressed it 4 times. And the gun is going right up because I've locked it to the camera. But anyway, so now that we know that works, we can keep that, but comment that out for now with 2 forward slashes, I believe, and that'll work. Now comes the detection for making sure that it is the right time to shoot, because we want to just, before we have it so that you call the shoot function, which we're going to create, we're going to want to detect if we've actually got any bullets, because if we don't, that's not going to be the best thing, because you're going to be going into negative numbers because you're using non-existent bullets. So we want to make sure that is that, and you're also not already reloading, just so it's, you know, just an extra bit of to stop bugs for your gun or whatever, because it's very important. So as long as reloading is false and stuff like that, we want the ammo. Oh, so if ammo is less than, sorry. This is the bit where we call the reload. Actually, I should have labeled my script thingy. Oh well. Most of you are just going to copy the code anyway, and you don't really care if it sort of, you know, if I'm using reference or not, or whatever. So, oh no, I've called that outside the wrong thing. Da-da. So now this is going to, basically it's just going to detect to make sure that if we've actually not got any ammo, but we've got some rounds left, and we're already not reloading, we're going to then make sure that we do reload. So just make sure that's already set to that, so that in the UI that will be on the screen, it's not going to say -1, it will just say 0 until the gun has reloaded. And then we can call a reload function, which we're now going to create. So function reload, which is down here, which is, this gets called by this line of code here. So we're going to call the shoot function as well from that, so I can make that as well. Function shoot, and just enter that one as well. So now we've got that as well. Also, I have got the wrong reference script open, but whatever. I'm going to try and go with it. So basically, when we reload, we're going to want the actual gun script to wait until we're going to wait for it for, basically this is where an animation would play for you to do the reload thing. But for now, we're just going to put in a wait timer of about, I don't know, 3 seconds. Wait for second 3. So you're going to wait for 3 seconds. We're going to make it take off a round, because now we've used that round to put it back in the gun, like, you know, replaced it or whatever. And then ammo is going to equal, oh, we need to make another variable, the max ammo that you can have in 1 round of bullets, or whatever it is, or clip. I don't know the words. If you're making an FPS game, you'll most likely know thing. For the next tutorial, I will learn the right words, and we might have to change variable names, but for now we're going with this. So we're going to have max ammo. So this is going to be what the maximum amount that it should always reload to. So we'll just set it for 20 for now. I don't know what gun uses 20, probably none. I don't know how many it is normally. So we're going to make it equal max ammo. And then we're going to make it so that it's no longer reloading. So reloading equals false. So now this will mean we have bullets and stuff. Again, so we can play around with this in a moment. So now that we've got this, it shoots reference script. So there are probably a lot of tutorial people use a reference script, but they never say anything. You know, you should be aware that I'm using it. So there we go. If we look at the code, reloading is false. Else, we're going to use an else statement on here. Else. So if we have got bullets, then if reloading is still equal to false, equals false, we can then shoot the gun, which we're gonna write the code for now. This is the part you've all been waiting for, because you want to know how to actually shoot the gun, and it is quite simple with Raycasts, because we're going to fire it at the center. The actual gun point will be at the center of the screen. You may be thinking, well, why are we not firing it from the end of the gun? Because that's how it works. Somehow. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to create two variables. We're going to create var hit, and then Raycast. I've used a capital when I shouldn't have. Raycast hit. So we're going to detect where we're sort of hitting. We're also going to have the actual Raycast, or the ray, which is going to be equal to the camera's center. So camera dot main dot screen point to ray vec. Oh dear, capitals. Vector 3 dot. Oh wait, vector 3. Oh right, yeah. Vector 3, and then screen dot width times 0.5. You could just do slash divide it, so slash 2, which is divided by 2. But you can also just times the width by half, which also works, because you can use whatever for UI programming as well. Screen dot height times 0.5. So now this is going to put dead center in the screen, and I don't know what the 0 does, because I haven't done the research properly. I think it just means that there's obviously no Z depth in the camera. So you have your X, you have your Y, and no Z depth, because that's the 3D depth thing. Yeah, whatever. Obviously the camera is like technically a 2D plane, like what's shown on the screen. You don't have a 3D thing unless holograms ever come to a thing, and that's going to be fun. But for now we're working on a 2D screen sort of thing that displays 3D images, or you get what I mean, maybe. So now we're going to make sure that every time we shoot, we lose a little bit of ammo, because, you know, every time you shoot, you lose a bullet. So now we're going to detect if we hit the ground. So we can sort of say, hey, we've hit the ground, and this is where you'd put your particle effects. Well, in a moment. So we want to check for a physics.raycast. We want to have the ray, and then hit to, I think this is the depth of 100 or something. Ooh, I shouldn't put that there. Is that right? Yeah. And now we're going to make it just detect if it's the ground. You can use a lot of if or else statements or stuff here, I think. Yeah, you can use else if statements. So, but first of all, we're going to use an if hit dot collider dot tag equals ground. Then we can just, this is where you put your you'd put an instantiate the particle thing, and then the hit dot position and stuff like that. But we're actually just going to put a debug.log. We're going to put hit ground. We can leave that there. So this should now work, but we have to set some things. Oh, the name Tay does not. Oh, have I? Oh, there we go. My bad. You probably also did the same thing. That is meant to be Ray. That's why none of the. Oh, see, I typed too fast. Vector 3. I spelled things wrong. Ooh. physics Raycast hit, Ray hit, oh, my bad. I read the code wrong. Ray hit 100. That should work. Yes. So, we now need to apply ammo, so we'll give ourselves 20 with 3 rounds. And I'm not going to maximize this, just so we can see the variable changing. And hopefully the console saying that, hey, we're doing stuff. So if we click, we're losing ammo. If we do that, oh, missing missing method exception. What have we missed? Debug.log. Oh, okay, it's meant to be capitalized. See, that's literally that one thing. It knows what it's kind of meant to do, but it's not right because it doesn't exist. Because they don't have the thing. So we hit the ground. We're always hitting the ground. Now we're not hitting anything. We're hitting the ground again because it's in the center of the screen. And now if we keep going all the way down to 0, well, keep clicking, it's reloading, and now it's done a clip. Although that round thing has not worked. Why didn't that work? Rounds minus, ammo max ammo. That's not good. For some reason that decided it was gonna do that. We can just do rounds minus equals 1, which should just take away 1 hopefully. So we can just test this if we just spam click the mouse. Oh, that for some reason it counts it twice. That didn't used to do that. It's almost like it's called the function twice, because have I actually put a thing in here to check that it's not reloading? Yes, I haven't. So you need to put another one here, so reloading is false. Call it. But just make sure you're calling it anyway. Instead, otherwise it will call it twice. I think that should work. And this should protect the rounds thing from duplicating or doubling. Okay, that made it worse. Well, that's kind of working, ish. What doesn't work? Maybe reference script doesn't always help. Shoot, reload, rounds minus. This should be rounds minus. The reload is getting called twice. If reloading is false, then call this. If ammo is equal to 0, rounds is bigger than 0, and you're not reloading, then set the ammo to 0 and reload. Yeah. That should work. I have no idea why that's doing. Actually, let me just see if it does call it twice. Debug .log reload. If for some reason we might be accidentally calling it twice, which isn't good. Ooh, missed a thing. Have we? 40 and then 9. Rounds minus. Oh, yeah, rounds minus. Sorry. Keep lining things. Now this should be good. Hopefully. No, we're only calling it once. Oh, it's working now. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's how you make a basic gun thing. Sorry, this tutorial's a bit kind of weird and stuff, and I'm gonna not edit it at all. Look, if you kind of got the idea, then that's that, because a lot of you will just jump to the end and look at the script anyway. So I recommend, there you go, just pause the screen now. I'll probably make a thing that just says, well, the script's just here. So in the next episode, let me know what you want me to do, because I'll probably give it like 2 days, even though I know a lot of people probably won't find this tutorial for like a year, which is what happened with my other ones, because YouTube's search algorithm is awful. I will probably do sound next week, just adding a sound, but it is pretty simple. I will just give you a hint as to what to do. Declare your sound variable up here, find it here, and then when you shoot, just make it play. Make it play once, and then every time you click, it will just keep playing. And also, just to do that, you need to add, wherever your gun script is, just add an audio source, which there is. Although it's being used by the feet, so we may have to change where the actual gun script's working from. to put it on the gun, and then actually we can add dropping the gun and picking up another one. But that can be a later on thing. But let me know what you want me to attempt to teach you guys in a weird way. I know a lot of you are just like, well, what are you even doing? It's a weird tutorial, okay? Just whatever. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment and tell me why you didn't like it, because I know probably a lot of you are going to be like, this is awful. If that was painful to watch, let me know. And yeah, I will maybe see you in the next tutorial if you want. Bye bye.